Today I am going to be doing my little unprofessional review of the Helm Compact 1 tent by Wild Country, which is of course Terra Nova. So with my little buddy's help here, Austin, he's getting on now, he's 15, he's feeling it a bit I think. Now with his help, I'm going to just go through what it says on the old bag here. So weight 1.97 kilograms, so £4 5 ounces. Sleeps one, but there's plenty of room. So it is definitely a one-man tent, but there is plenty of room, as you'll see. The fly sheet is 4,000mm hydrostatic head, and the poles are Superflex alloy. So let's get it out and see what we're working with. One of the things that I love about these tents from Terra Nova Wild Country, so Wild Country is just like obviously the cheaper range, is these bags, the carry bags. They are made extra big, so you're never going to have problems with wrestling your tent back into the bag. Really well made and really big, so you can just get them in. And then obviously you've got these fasteners which you can pull tight after, so it still packs down nice and small. So we've got these like V-shaped pegs. They're all right. They're nice and light, and they do the job, to be fair. The only thing that I find with these is the mud gets stuck in here, so you find yourself having to constantly clean them off every single time you've used them. So if anybody can recommend some better lightweight pegs, drop it in the comments for me. So we've got the pegs there, and then the poles, we've got one red one and one blue one. Now on a windy day, what I would do is peg the corners out first, but as there's no wind today, what I like to do is get it up first, because what I love about these tents as well is it's freestanding. So with a freestanding tent, you can pick it up and move it and get it in the perfect spot. So providing there's no wind, what I like to do is set the poles up, get the poles in, which I'll show you, and then obviously you can move it to wherever you want, and then I'll start pegging it out. Really easy. So the blue goes through the blue, like so. Now this red one is pre-bent, because you'll see it's exposed. So it's got the two bent corners there, like so. And then it'll start to take shape now. So what's good is you can now find the flattest spot, or pick where you want to be looking out when you wake up in the morning, or if you want to watch the sunset on the evening, you can pick where you want your door, etc., and you can literally just move it round to where you want, which I absolutely love that about this tent. So I'll just give you a quick walk around. So I've just roughly done it. Now, obviously, depending on the conditions, you know, you might want to mess about with the guy lines, tighten them up. But yeah, so I've just roughly done it. I've put all the guys in, I've used all the pegs. And that is a solid shelter. That's not going to go anywhere. It's a 3-season tent. However, in the UK, you know, you can pretty much use it all year round. I've used it right in the middle of winter, and obviously now today, as I'm filming this, it's the 1st of July, so I'll be using it through the summer as well. I think this is an absolutely superb tent. It pitches inner and outer together, and that for me as well is really convenient. You know, it's the setup time just makes it, you know, a lot easier. It's a lot quicker, and you know, it's a really good shelter if you're on a budget but you want the best that money can buy. There's space inside there for your backpack and your boots, and if you get organised properly, there's more room than it looks right here. So if you get yourself organised properly, there is also plenty of room inside here with that zipped up, and I'll show you in a second as well, like, because obviously you want to be safe, but there's plenty of room to cook inside there as well, like if it's pissing down. So as you can see, the door of the inner opens right out, and there's a little pocket here that you can shove that in. So inside, excuse me. So inside, as you can see, there is room there for a wide sleep pad. So my Team U one, if you check out my review for my Team U pad, that is a wide pad, and it fits the length of this and the width of this pretty much to perfection. And I'm going to go through some measurements in a minute. I've bought my tape measure, so we'll do that. But the first thing that I want to show you is this little pocket at the back. What we've got here, you can open it up and you've got netting, so it's good ventilation. So you've got like 2 zips, but then the other zip as well opens it up. So you've got another compartment here to store your stuff. Now, what I normally do when I'm doing this, let me just adjust you out. You coming in, Ost? Come on, Ost. Come in. Good boy. Sorry, guys, didn't mean to put a dog's arsehole right in your face there. But what I normally do, as you've probably seen if you've watched some of my previous videos, my wild camping, I use this area to store like my all my food and my cooking, so my stove and stuff like that, and my bottles of water. And then I use this front area here. I normally whack my backpack up here, so I normally whack my backpack in here. There's plenty of room if you just squeeze it in there. And then my boots here, or my boots over that side. But then what that does is it leaves you plenty of room here. Excuse me. It leaves you plenty of room here then for cooking. So you've got plenty of room for your backpack, your boots and your rubbish bag. And the other thing that I wanted to point out as well is this is also double zipped in here. Let me get it in. So this is also double zipped in here. So what you can do, you can create a little opening at the top there for when you are cooking. So you can have ventilation there as well for when you're cooking inside. So in that sense, guys, even though it's like a one-man tent, there is plenty of room, you know, for you to store all your kit inside here. You've got a pocket at both ends. There's a both ends. Let me just adjust you there. Sorry for the shoddy camera work, guys. There's a little hook here, which I use for my little lantern at night. And yeah, there's plenty of room in here. Now, let's just do a few measurements and then I'll tell you the only thing that I would change about this tent. So, in terms of the internal measurements, let's have a look what we got. I can get in this no problem at all, but then I'm a short arse. I'm only 5'7" and a half. But yeah, full length here, you've got 206 centimetres, so that's just over 6 foot. So 6 foot 3-4 inches, no problem at all. In terms of the width, see your bathtub, let's try and get this so I've get it as accurate as I possibly can so we can be realistic with it. That is, so for your bathtub, you're looking at about 75, 76 centimetres wide there as well. And then in terms of the height, again, because I'm a short arse, I have no problem sitting up in this tent. Even when my sleep pad's all set up, I have no problem, and I'm not bashing my head or anything like that. So in terms of height, from the highest point to the floor, you've got 36 inches, 91, 92 centimetres. So again, guys, it's a really spacious tent. You know, you've got a big space there, so it's really easy to get in and out as well. Yeah, as I say, I really do love this tent. So now I'm going to show you the one thing that I would change about this tent that I think would actually improve it. Maybe two things actually. Okay, so there is actually two things that I would change about this tent. And the first one is, as good as that little bit of space out the back is with the little zip that I showed you, I think that this tent would be way better if it was double-sided, so you had double doors. So that would really make this tent so much better for me. I love it as it is, don't get me wrong. All I'm doing here is just being picky, because I don't think, you know, like many others have said, I don't think you're ever going to find the actual perfect tent. But for this to be slightly improved, I think a door on the other side as well. Also, and both sides, because if you're going to do it, you may as well do it properly. And I know it possibly add a little bit of weight, but I think that it's worth it. I think have it so it opens both sides as well. So obviously you're adding a bit more weight, and you're at, you know, the more zips and what have you. But I think that those two things, a double door and double openings on both sides, this tent then, for me, would be pretty much perfect. But yeah, to be honest, I do absolutely love it as it is, really. So there you go, guys. The Wild Country by Terra Nova Helm Compact 1 is an absolutely superb tent. It really is spot on. as someone that's new to the hobby, I'm glad that I did my research. And that's what I would say to you guys. Don't just take my word for it. Do your research, watch lots of other videos on YouTube. And depending on like the kind of camping that you're looking at doing. So for me, I'm pretty much fair weather. I'm not really going to be camping outside of the UK. So something like this for me is practically, with the right sleep system, it's practically a 4-season tent. It is that good. So compact, it's good in the wind, it's completely waterproof. I paid 150 for this and it was during the lockdown and I never used it for a few years. I can't rate this tent highly enough, but all I can go by is my own experience. And I've watched loads and loads of other people on YouTube doing reviews of tents and stuff. And for me, from what I've seen, this is the one that, for me, leads the way in terms of beginner to intermediate tents. But again, what the fuck do I know? Don't listen to me. Go and have a look yourself, research yourself and compare them yourself. But for me, this is spot on. So as I mentioned to you earlier, guys, there's absolutely no wrestling with it at all, trying to get it back in the bag. So it's just a really cool feature to have these extra large bags. And I really do think it makes a difference to packing your tent away. And obviously just get the clips on. And then you can pull it nice and tight and you've got that nice small pack size. So let's measure it now. Let's measure the pack size. 15 inches. 15 inches, 38, 39 centimetres. Width, you've got 8.5, 9 inches, 22 centimetres. And I'll tell you what, let's do a circumference, shall we? Let's do a circumference at the widest bit. So we've got a circumference of 22.5 inches, which is 56 centimetres. So there you go, guys. It is the Wild Country by Terra Nova Helm Compact 1-person tent. I hope that review's helped you out. So again, guys, thanks for watching. From me, Deggers, Austin here, Teddy, all the best to you, and ta-ra for a bit. I'll see you soon. Good boys, good lads, good boys, yay! Good lad. Well done, lads. Come on then. Come on then, boys. Let's do this. Let's get out of here.